Hello everyone, I'm Paula from Turn North. Just welcome to the next episode of Turn North. We are so excited to be here. I have a couple of little things today I want to go over with you. Today I have a surprise because we have two dogs. One his name's Poppy. He's a schnauzer, a miniature schnauzer, and the other is Bentley. He's a Yorkie. Now Bentley is stuck to me and he constantly is with me all the time. He is a good little pal to have around. He doesn't cause too much trouble, but Bentley is here with me today because I cannot leave him where I normally do during taping. So I wanted to introduce you to Bentley. This is Bentley. He is a cutie. That's pretty much him all the time. I could take a picture of him any time of the day or night, and you know, that's him. So he stays with me all the time, and he likes to be up on the shelf, on the table here with his paws, and he helps me a lot of the time. But Bentley is gonna be down here on his little bed next to me, and I hope I don't have to bring him back up too much more. So say goodbye, Bentley, and we'll see you maybe at the end. Okay. So Mr. D brought in a package that he got in the mail, and I think it's UPS, and he told me that it was no problem, but he gave me some instructions, and he never gives me instructions. So he said, with a package. So he said, you can open it, no problem, but just don't turn it on and don't plug it in. So I'm like, okay, well, that sounds dangerous, but he said no. He said just, that's something that he did not want me to do. So I'm opening up this package. It's pretty big, but not real big, but it's something exciting, and I'm gonna go ahead and just, get it open and see what's going on with it. And we're gonna use our little scissors, and we're gonna open it up and see if there's something that we can see what's in here, to see what's going on with this package. What could be that I'm not supposed to turn in? I'm not a ding dong. I think I could figure it out, but apparently he doesn't think that that's true. So he is going to. Okay, so it's got some packaging. I'll read that in a minute, and it's got this styrofoam. So it has a little styrofoam thing to contain, and it looks just like a black box, like something you'd have in an airplane or something. It's very straightforward. I'm gonna drop this box, not on Bentley, and look at it. It looks like a black box for airline. Anyway, you can see right through it. Wow, not much to it. Anyway, so see, look, woo, I can see you. So anyway, it's, what is it? It has a curved thing here. It says ethereal and ethereal ambience. I don't know what that means. But on the back it says it's a commercial ozone generator made of ethereal, spelled A-I-R-T-H-E-R-E-A-L. So an ozone generator. Well, Mr. D has talked about the fact that he's very into being prepared and making sure everything's okay. And I think that this is like an ozone plate thing that you would put, say, in a room or in a place that you want odors or sanitizing. I'm not sure about ozone. I have to really read about it, but I think he has definitely done his homework on it. What an interesting little box. It just looks like something old-fashioned, doesn't it? But there's a plug back here that I did not plug in, and I'm not going to, no matter what you say, because I don't know what these dolls do, and I could do some damage to me and Bentley in here. So anyway, it's got minutes, and it says, warning, use in unoccupied space only. So I guess you would have to put this somewhere and let it do its ozone thing, and then, air it out. But it would, I think, kill odors and sanitize. Wow, crazy interesting. So he is such a nut. He's a kooky. So I like him though. I love him. He's so funny because he's always thinking of us. You know, he's always thinking of his family. I never know what that was even about, so I'm sure he's done his homework on that. Today we're going to be talking about self-worth. Self-worth is one of those things where, oh my gosh, you know, you can go to a psychiatrist, psychotherapist, you could really put a lot of time and effort into self-worth. So I can't go into all that because I am none of those things. But I would like to know that you know, again, as we repeat these episodes, learning more and more, you are in charge of you, right? You and I are in charge of ourselves. So we make those decisions, whether we do them out of habit or we do them out of several different things. We're just going to go over 2 of them today, and we're going to figure out about self-worth. Self-worth and self-esteem are a lot alike. You could probably not hardly tell any difference in the description or the dictionary, those kind of things. If you look up self-worth in the dictionary, it just says another form of self-esteem, basically, and it gives you more detailed about those things. But self-worth, to me, the way I've looked at it and read about it, self-worth is when, I like to use the example of an artist. Okay, so you're a kid, you're young, you love to draw. Let's just use drawing. You love to draw and you are very good at it, and everybody's like, whoa, you're great at that. So you get a little bit older and you're a teenager now and you're really good at art, and you do a lot of things in school that have to do with art, and you're like, wow, this is the best. I feel so good doing my art. But as you get a little bit older, your parents get to worrying. They're like, oh my goodness, you cannot make a living as an artist. And they start to put these little, they don't mean to. They really don't. Parents are just people, and they are just concerned about your welfare. But it does affect you. So they're putting these thoughts in, whether it's nice or, you know, they're just saying, you know, you really need to have another, you know, something to fall back on, because art is, you know, that's hard. And so you keep hearing all these little things about art and how it's hard, and, you know, you can't make a living at it, it's just crazy. And people start, the older you get, it's not as cute anymore. So they start to say, oh Lord, you know, Billy is gonna be a bum because he not gonna get his proper education, and even if he goes to college and gets out in art, what's he gonna do with it? So all that has been put into your self-worth, okay? So here's where the self-esteem comes in. People tell you and me things all the time. Tell you how to raise your kids. They tell you how to do this, what you should look like, what you shouldn't look like, what kind of deodorant to wear. People tell you all the time, constantly bombard us with all those information. So it can really put a whooping on your self-worth. Here's where self-esteem comes in. So, I'm not sure if I said Billy or Bobby, but I think Billy is the artist, and he is now missing art. He's growing up, he could be a tow truck driver, or he could have been an engineer. I don't know what he turned out to be. But he's missing his art, his heart, what he really, really likes. And why is that? It's because he's allowed his self-esteem to absorb all that self-worth, that he has now put that in front of himself. He's believed it, he's bought it, he swallowed it, and now he's living it, right? He can't make a living. He can't even hardly remember art because it's not what he was, you know, what people told him to do. There's so many things in life that people start out wanting to do, not necessarily in childhood, but they start out wanting to do their own business. What do people tell you every time you say you're opening up your own business? Oh, it's gonna fail. If everybody failed, then we would have no one owning their own business. So there are obviously many successes, right? But after being told that, and it's just point blank, people are so interested in your business that they will just tell you what they think. So your brain has to decide. You can't help hearing it, but your brain has to decide, am I gonna keep all this, or am I just gonna toss it? Because you know in your heart that everybody opening up their own business, it's hard. So you don't need to be told that. It's like being told that you need to lose weight. I never thought of that. I'm so glad you told me. I would have never been able to figure that out on myself, all on my own. Everybody knows when they're overweight, when they have let themselves get into a different state that people don't approve of. You know, let's say you grew up and you believe that you are a person that has thoughts of other things, and you are in a family that's just never going to accept that. You know, they're just not. But that's in your head. You have to try. You have to try and have your own business. You have to try in making sure that your self-esteem is run by you, not by everyone else. Your self-worth comes from probably everyone else. You know? What's your self-worth? Oh my goodness, you know. I am really, really good at certain things, but other things I'm bad at. I could say my self-worth, I could say I'm a very average cook, because I am. I know in my head, in my body, inside my brain, that I'm an average cook. So if someone came up to me and said, wow, you know, I heard through the grapevine that you were a bad cook. Well, that might affect me that day. I might think, well, that is so bizarre. Who would have said such a thing? But in my soul, inside, I'd be like, I'm not a bad cook. I know that because it's in my self-worth. Inside me, it says, you're not a bad cook, just an average cook. So I don't let my self-esteem absorb that, and I say, well, she said she heard that I was a really bad cook. It was in the grapevine, everybody must have been talking about it. So I am not, I'm gonna let that fester inside of me, and I don't think I'm ever gonna cook again. I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna cook ever again, which might be nice. But I just, you know, that is how you let your self-esteem be affected by your self-worth. Self-worth sometimes comes from that word I don't like in the other episodes, your surrounding forces. That's where your self-worth comes from. You know, I was told when I was young that my father died when I was really young. And so I was told one time that a girl growing up, if she didn't have a father figure to tell her what her worth was, that she was worthy of love, and that she was worthy of a good man, and that she was worthy of these things, that she would not learn those things, and she would date bad people, and she would just, you know, apparently just fall to hell. So I don't know. I didn't have a father to tell me those things, but I had a mother who told me those things. And she said, you are so worthy. You are so worthy of having someone to love you. And she made it a point to not just tell me as a kid that I was worthy of attention or worthy of love. She kept that up, you know, all the time. Even when I was, you know, my age now, because she just passed, my mother would say, you know, things that told me, oh, Paula, you know, stop all that negative. You're okay. You don't need to have all that negative reinforcements in your life. No, in my core beliefs, in my self-worth, I know that's not true. But in my self-esteem, I'm letting people tell me it's true. I'm a person who is my opinion and what I have researched. So I believe that your self-worth is you. What's in there, what you really are, what you really believe. you know is true. And your self-esteem is what you get bombarded with, and then you allow it to stay. It's not a part of your self-worth, it's your self-esteem. So your self-esteem, we need to clean up. Go in there and vacuum it. Or put your ozone machine, your own brain ozone machine, and clean that out and sanitize that self-esteem. Get back to the basics of your self-worth, which is always good because it's you. You know you're worthy. You're loved because you're alive, right? And God put you here on the earth, whether you believe in God or not. I believe that God put us here on the earth to prosper and be a loving people of all people. I want all people to be happy, of course. I sound like Miss America, of world peace. But anyway, that's it for today. I want you to think about cleaning out your self-esteem. And I will see you next time on Turn North. Thanks. Bye-bye.